Hello everyone! In this video, I will give interesting information about Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has been the most president in the history of Turkey and is among the top 10 most influential people in the world. If you look at the history of Erdogan, you will get many useful cases for yourself. You will also have great motivation for your life. You will be amazed that this Nobel laureate was already politically powerful and faced a lot of difficulties in the process of coming to the throne, and despite coming from a very poor family, he overcame the difficulties. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a Turkish politician and statesman, born on February 26, 1954 in Rize, Turkey. Until the age of 13, he lived with his parents in the city of Rize on the Black Sea coast in northeastern Turkey. In 1965, he graduated from Pial Pasha Elementary School. The young man was distinguished by his religiosity, so his peers called him Koca. That is, in the countries of the Near and Middle East, they called it an honorary title of a priest. As a teenager, Recep sold lemonade and buns on the street part-time. In 1969 to 1980, he played football in various youth clubs of Istanbul. Recep got involved in politics in the 1970s and rose to head the youth wing of the National Salvation Party in Istanbul. But then his career was cut short. After the military coup in 1980, political parties were banned in the country. In 1984, Bayoglu was elected as the chairman of the Welfare Party Department. 1985, chairman of the Istanbul branch of the party, as well as a member of the party's high management board. In 1994, Recep took another big step towards power. He won the Istanbul mayoral election, but in 1998 he had to leave this position. He was put under investigation on suspicion of inciting religious enmity for reciting an Islamic poem at a rally. The court sentenced him to 10 months in prison, but he was released early after 4 months. Prime Minister of Turkey since 2003, head of the moderate Islamic Justice and Development Party. In September 2012, Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced at the Congress of this conservative Islamic party that his Justice and Development Party was a model for all Muslims. He was re-elected as the leader of the ruling party. He has been the president of Turkey since August 2014, receiving approximately 52% of the vote in the general vote. Emin Erdogan, wife of Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Emin Erdogan Gulbaran was born in 1955. He is a politician by profession. He grew up in Istanbul, studied at an art school. She was involved in the work of the Idealist Women's Association, during which she got married. The couple has 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. Recep Tayyip Erdogan faced a lot of difficulties before reaching this level. The reason is that at the age of 13, first his mother died, then after a few months his father died. Alone, Recep Tayyip was not ready to accept life's challenges. But since there was no one, he was able to find strength in himself and work tirelessly on himself. At first, Recep thoroughly studied Islam and learned to recite the Quran. He entered several universities with his own knowledge and earned all the expenses himself during his studies. He worked tirelessly at night and studied during the day. Self-education and education while living alone was not difficult for the child. But due to various trials, the child wanted a lot of parental love. Recep suffered a lot financially and therefore worked in restaurants, cafes, markets, tailoring, cooking, driving, sales, carpentry, construction, shipping, maintenance, car washing, food delivery, carpet cleaning. Sometimes he used to collect garbage and sell it on the streets, and thus he was increasing his income day by day. Recep was very fond of books and always bought new books. He spent weeks selling the 8-volume book. Turkey's strong policy in joining the ranks of developed countries is due to Recep Tayyip Erdogan. After all, before Recep Tayyip Erdogan came to the throne, the situation in Turkey was serious and there were various rebellions. Corruption in the government was on the rise and religious extremism was also on the rise. And women who came to the workplace wearing a hijab were punished, and this prevented the members of the Muslim family from living freely. When Recep Tayyip Erdogan came to the throne in 2014, he put an end to everything and made Turkey the strongest among European countries in 10 years. His policy is very strong and he has repeatedly proved that he is not afraid of any country. Turkey was a member of NATO until 2002, but Erdogan canceled the agreement. "We don't need anyone's help, especially Europe," Erdogan said. In 2020, when Donald Trump announced that Israel was recognized as the capital of Palestine, Erdogan expressed a critical opinion about it due to his respect for din. And in 2020, in response to the very stupid French President Emmanuel Macron's words about Islam, a backward religion and a disgraceful religion, Erdogan described the French president as mentally ill. We do not have enough time to count all the news and policies implemented by Erdogan. We have selected the most important information for you. Erdogan lives in the White Palace in Ankara with his 4 children and his wife. The White House cost $650 million to build and is larger than Putin's palace in terms of structure and location. Erdogan's wife is engaged in state charity work and her daughters also help her. His sons are engaged in oil trade and hardly get involved in politics. Erdogan is the person who has been on the throne for the longest time in the history of Turkey. But the natural disaster that occurred during his reign, the earthquake, caused the death of many people and caused popular resentment against the representatives of the Turkish government. The damage caused by the earthquake in Turkey was estimated at $20 billion. But one thing should not be forgotten, that the earthquake is a test sent by Allah, and it is a mistake to blame someone for it. Erdogan, who has been in power for 10 years, is a skilled politician who has made great changes. But in May of this year, Turkey is holding a presidential election, and it is not clear whether Erdogan will stay in this election or not. The reason is that the election campaign in Turkey is heating up more and more. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has been ruling Turkey for 10 years and served as prime minister for 11 years, will be the main candidate for the presidency, where presidential and parliamentary elections will be held on May 14th. The opposition has also chosen a single candidate, and this coalition is expected to unite the most diverse electorate affected by the economic crisis, land economics, and the destruction of democratic institutions. A terrible earthquake added additional factors to the election campaign for which Turkey was completely unprepared. Now the election race is in full swing. Do you think Erdogan will be re-elected as president or not? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.